foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. And off we go from Denver. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. They'll go play action with Nix. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
That's taken in left side by Vele. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he stopped immediately there. And that flag accepted. They go play action now. Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 42 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Wilson. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Gano's kick is good, and the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Here's 3rd and 9. Nix to the air. He'll air this one out from Mims.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll start with a run by Tracy.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it's 2nd down. In motion left, Robinson.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Now Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Harvey, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
And the tackle there by Micah McFadden.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 22-yard line. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right?
Pecan
Already
pie.
have what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
Here's Nix.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Nix to throw again.
Touchdown, Broncos. A 22-yard touchdown ground.
And the Broncos are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And New York set to take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Wilson.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
On the give, it's Tracy.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a second down and 6 coming up. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now it's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and now 2 yards to go on third down.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. Fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
To throw, here's Nix. And this to a former Giant. It's Evan Ingram.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got the size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Working out of the gun is Nix.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 33.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Throwing Nix.
A short throw to Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
Now it's Nix.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Nix from the shotgun. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
And the Giants ready to come out now. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
2nd and 10. Here's Tracy.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Nix. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
He finds his man Johnson.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they have certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on third down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now it's Wilson.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
To throw again is Wilson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Gano's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. Nix. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
He scored their touchdown earlier, and this had a chance to be another. This secondary scrambling for answers, looking at each other, trying to figure out who is going to put the clamps on this guy because right now he's absolutely shredding them.
That is caught by Vele.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now 2nd and 5. Nix looking to throw again.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Nix to the air.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Here's Wilson to throw.
That one taken in by Neighbors.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Hit and drop behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Right back to Tracy.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Carryover from the first half. That defensive line continues to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're actually playing the game in the offense's backfield. They're taking those offensive linemen and pushing them back towards the quarterback and towards the runners. I still don't think, though, that you abandon the running game totally, because if you do, you're asking for a lot more hits on your QB.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff up the middle. Harvey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
The Broncos send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And New York set to take the field. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good for a giant 1st down. Runs like that, this time on the RPO, is why they call him dangerous.
I love the way you dropped that in there. His decision-making is what makes it all go, because his ability to process so quickly what the defense is doing, make the right read, and then when he takes off and runs, also knows how to protect himself downfield after he's gotten all he can out of a sprint.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They go play action with Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that'll bring him back within 4. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Operating from the gun. Here's Nix. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. And possession switching back to the New York Giants.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Now Wilson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Johnson. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson.
Again, it's Johnson.
So nothing doing there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still
No
yardage. Okay.
Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
On the run is Tracy.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson.
This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Giants have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. That's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another play this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Off the play fake. Here's Nix.
Able to get away. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
To throw is Nix.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, it's Harvey. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Now it's Nix.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Slot man moves right.
A fake on the jet sweep and a give to Dobbins.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down and 4. They'll go play action with Nix.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The kick by Lutz is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
New York set to take the field.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter.
Wilson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson.
A throw right side caught by Neighbors.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Wilson.
That is caught. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So he stopped for no gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
To throw again is Wilson.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Here's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Well, he has been the featured receiver on this drive. They've looked his way a number of times. Why not get it to him on 3rd down? And they do. And they're able to keep this drive moving.
On the ground, here comes Tracy. He'll get this down to the 38.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a first down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch that and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time.
This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Here's Wilson to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Tracy trying the right side.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. On play action, here's Nix.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 5. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
They'll go again with Dobbins. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. See the athleticism there of Brian Burns stopping him behind the line.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Throwing Nix.
And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Well, you need your best play here, no doubt. 4th down and 8. They're going. It's Nix.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Partner, they've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
They'll go again with Tracy.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Running left is Tracy. And he is going to have a New York first down, and the Giants are going to win the football game. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.